So it's 2017. I'm 18 at the time, and I've just gotten home from school, and I'm standing in my bedroom. And I'm having a fight. I'm having a fight with someone who I know really well. We've known each other for a long time. I know them really well. They know me really well. And we're having probably the biggest fight we've ever had. I'm having a fight with my pee-pee, my willy. So at this point, I'm on day 83 of NoFap. Somehow against all odds, I've, gone further than I've ever gone before. And I'm somehow almost 3 months into NoFap. Normally, I'd get to like maybe day 4 or 5, and that would be always when I relapse. My biggest obstacle would be like day 4 or 5. That was like my boss battle. If I could get past day 4 or 5, I'd get to at least day 8 or 9. But somehow this time, I've made it to day 83. I have no idea how. It was because I was super motivated this time. I'd been watching a lot of these NoFap benefit timeline videos and like researching a lot about NoFap, going on the subreddits and all that. And I knew I was in this NoFap flatline where for a while, the benefits would kind of like level out. And if I could just make it past this period and get to about day 100, couple months in, I would get out of this flatline and the benefits would start to compound. So I was like, okay, super motivated. I was like, okay, let's get to day 100 and finally I'll get a girlfriend. Finally, girls will be attracted to me. Finally, they'll make eye contact with me if I can just get to day 100. So I was super motivated, super hyped. Many days I was fighting my inner demons, but I managed to conquer them. I managed to get through it. But this was the biggest battle so far, day 83. I'm in my room. I'm butt naked, by the way. And yeah, I'm getting the biggest urge of my entire life, 83 days in. And, I'm pacing around the room. I'm like, no, come on, we can't relapse now, bro. We're 2 weeks away from 100 days where I become a superhuman. We are so close. We've just got to make it through. I was like pacing around the room. I'm like, oh, but one stroke won't hurt. It would feel so good because it's been 83 days. No, we can't. We're so close. Just get through. I'm like, oh, but it's okay. Just one peek at the hub. That's okay. It won't hurt. And it's just this inner demon battle. Then my demons start winning. I'm like, okay, I'll just do one stroke. That's it. Just one stroke. See what it's like. See if anything's changed. And then back on the streak. I'll have a cold shower. I'll go for a walk. And I'll do all my homework. And we'll be good. Back to normal. 2 weeks away from achieving that big goal. So I do it. I do one stroke. And bro, I kind of go unconscious. Next thing I know, 4 more strokes happen. And you know how you get that post-nut clarity, right? Like after you nut, you get that clarity where you're like, oh, what have I just done? I've reset my streak. I'm back to day 0. I wish I didn't do that. Okay, we're not going to do it again next time. We're not going to do it again. And like everything becomes clear and you realize the mistake you've made. Well, this time, bro, after 5 strokes, I experienced pre-nut clarity. I experienced that clarity feeling of regret before the nut happened. Because by the 5th stroke, I had reached the point of no return. There was no going back at this point. I realized the mistake I had made. And when I reached that point of no return, I got that pre-nut clarity and I was like, oh no, what have I done? I realized that I had just thrown 83 days of progress down the drain. And I would be back to day 0, back to that loser, loner guy who would be alone forever. It happened, the nut happened, and I was just sitting there thinking like, yep, we're back to day 0. We're back to being unable to make eye contact with girls. We're back to being a lazy piece of shit. And I was like, okay, this is over. NoFap is too hard. I'm going to be alone forever. And I'm on day 0, so relapses don't count at this point. So I went for another 3 rounds and another 3 rounds the next day. And that was the last time I ever made it to day 83. In fact, that was the last time I ever made it more than like 20 days, more than like probably 15 days. In like 3 years. Stop counting your streaks. Here's the problem with counting your streaks. When you count streaks, you revolve your life around NoFap. Your goal becomes NoFap, right? Your goal in life becomes NoFap, to stop fapping, right? But what is the reason we do NoFap? Is it to stop fapping? Not exactly. We do NoFap to achieve the goals we want in our life, right? Like maybe we want a relationship, maybe we want to achieve our fitness goals, whatever it is, our goals in our life. That's why we do NoFap. But here's the thing. When you start counting your days, your goal becomes NoFap. So actually your life gets less oriented towards your goals, because instead of kind of being oblivious to pornography and its damage, you become obsessed with stopping it, and it takes over all your thoughts, all your life. So actually what you need to do is forget NoFap, forget it exists, and focus on the real goals you're trying to make in your life. So it's not once you never fap again. That's not when you'll start achieving your goals. You'll start achieving your goals when you start fapping less. So make that your goal. Every week, just aim to fap less than the week before. Slowly unload fapping from your life. Because bro, you've probably spent like 5 to 10 years building up this habit of doing it daily or weekly. It's not going to disappear overnight. And if you try to make it disappear overnight, it will destroy your mental health. You'll constantly be thinking about it all day long. Like, what would you tell to a fat guy who managed to get really consistent in the gym and go for like 3 months? What would you tell him if after 3 months of going to the gym consistently, he slipped up and didn't go for 1 day? You know, and he was like, oh man, I've been going consistently for 3 months, but I didn't go yesterday, bro. Oh my God, I'm back to day 0 of my streak. You know, may as well binge eat again because it doesn't count because I'm on day 0, right? So he goes out, binge eats for a week, and he gains all the weight back. Obviously, like, just because he's missed 1 day doesn't mean his progress is reset, right? The progress doesn't come from the streak. The progress comes from becoming more consistent over time. So that should be our goal in NoFap. And it wasn't until I started doing that and almost forgetting about NoFap and forgetting about it and just like, if it happens, it happens, bro. But you know, keeping track of the days I do it and just making it my goal to do it less each month. Once I started focusing on that and moved my attention and focus towards my goals, actually NoFap became easier. Because when I'm not thinking about NoFap, that's when it disappears from my life. Like, a lot of the negatives of fapping don't come from actually fapping itself. It comes from the beliefs you have about fapping and the story you tell yourself. For example, for me, I used to believe that if I was on day 0 to day 3 of NoFap, then there was no point even trying to talk to girls because they would not be interested in me if I had fapped in the past 3 days. So every time I would relapse and be back to day 0, I would just purposely be avoiding girls for the next 3 days. Because I knew, there's no point talking to them now. I may as well wait till day 4 till I talk to them. But obviously that's not the case, you know? It's not actually gonna make a difference. It's the beliefs and the story that you're telling yourself that does all the damage, that destroys your mental health, that makes you see reality differently. So if you tell yourself that you're trying to quit fapping and you have that self-image that you're a fapper, you will constantly like snap back to that. It's like a rubber band where you release it and you snap back. So you need to have the self-image of someone who just simply doesn't fap and it's not on their mind. So I hope this message resonates with you. Hope to save you many years of your life of bad mental health and just focusing on the wrong things. Subscribe if it resonates with you, this message. And for more, self-improvement stuff. And hopefully I can help you out, bro, and you can join me on my journey. See you later. Click on this video right now.